and welcome back to our channel. So today's video is an IQ test. So this test is made out of 15 questions, and these questions are inspired by real IQ test questions. I've done IQ tests before, and all of these questions follow the same style, so they're very logic-based questions. So there are 15 questions in total. You'll be able to get 1 point per correct answer, and I would love for you guys to comment down below how many points you got, as well as all of the answers you answered to all of the questions. So yeah, let's just get started. So question number 1 asks, what combination of letters forms a country? So we have 4 options: A, B, C, and D, and combinations of random letters in each option. Only one of these options actually forms the name of a country. I'll give you some time to look at the options and try to organize the letters in a way that will form the name of a country. So here are our options: A, B, C, and D, and only one has the letters to write the name of a country. Which option do you think has all the letters needed to form a country? Is it option A, B, C, or D? What's your guess? Okay, should we check the answer? So, let's see. And the answer is D. So if you take a look at the letters that form answer D, you'll see that if you arrange them properly, you'll be able to write Chile, Chile. Okay, really good. Let's move on to question number 2. So, question number 2 asks, what is the answer to the following equation? Okay, so in question number 2, we have this information. So we know that triangle plus triangle plus triangle equals 9. We know that circle plus circle plus circle equals 12. And we know that triangle plus square equals 15. Then we're asked to solve this equation right here. So triangle plus circle times square. So first we have to try to figure out the value of each figure. So the value of the triangle, circle, and the square based on this data right here. And then we have to use the values we calculated to solve this equation. We also have 4 possible answers. So we have A, 26, and these are the answers to this equation, by the way. A, 26, B, 18, C, 27, or D, 44. So I'll give you some time to take a look at this data first and then try to solve this equation. So, first, get the value of each figure and then try to solve the equation. What is the value of the triangle? What is the value of the square? And what is the value of the circle? So I'll reveal the answer. Okay, so the answer is option C, 27. So we'll check also the solution. So if we solve this this first, we'll notice that triangle equals 3, so 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 9. Then we have that the square equals 4. So, sorry, not the square, the circle equals 4. So 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12. And then we found out that this is 3. So we can deduct that the square equals 6. Then solving this equation, we know that multiplication has priority, so we multiply 4 times 6, and then we sum the triangle, which is 3, and we'll get the result of 27. So did you get these right? Let's move on to the next questions. Okay, so for question number 3, we have a sequence. So we have 3, then we have 8, 18, 38, 78, and you have to guess or decide what number comes next. We have, again, for options, do you think it's A, 124, B, 160, C, 158, or D, 156? I'll give you some time to look at the sequence and see if you can find a pattern. We start with 3, then 8, 18, 38, 72, and you have to guess what number should come next after 78. Is it A, B, C, or D? It helps if you try to find a pattern that predicts the following number. Do you have a guess? 124, 120, 128, 58. Sorry, I haven't seen this wrong. So 164, 160, 158, or 156. What is the number that comes after 78? Okay, let's check the answer. So, the number that comes next in the sequence is option C, 158. So, I will explain the sequence to you. We start with number 3, then for the next number we add 5. Then from 8 to 18 we add 10. From 18 to 38 we add 20. And from 38 to 78, we add 40. So if you notice, we are always doubling the amount that we add from each number. So 5 here, then 10, 20, 40. So we should add the double of 40, which is 80, to find the next number. So if we add 80 to 78, we'll get 158. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Again, for the next question, you have kind of a database. So we have all of these sentences. And what you have to do here is choose which one of these 4 options makes sense with the rest of the information you are given. So only one of these sentences follows the same logic as these 5 sentences, and you have to choose which one it is. Okay, so I will read the sentences to you. So we know that all dragons breathe fire, okay? We also know that anything that breathes fire is dangerous. We know as well that some lizards are dragons. We know that no mammal is a lizard, and we know that all dangerous creatures are feared. So this is all the information we know. Now we have to find the sentence that kind of completes or follows the same logic as the sentences we just read. So, is it A, some mammals are feared? Is it B, some lizards are feared? Is it C, all dragons are mammals? Or is it D, no lizards breathe fire? I'll give you some time to take a look and read the question yourself if you want to. All you have to do is choose the sentence that makes the most sense, having read these ones prior. So following the logic of these 5 sentences, choose the next sentence that follows this logic. Is it A, B, C, or D? Which one do you think? A, B, C, or D? Okay, let's take a look at the answer. So, the answer is B. So, some lizards are feared. This is the only sentence that we could see that follows the same logic or is in agreement with all of the other sentences. Okay, let's move on to question number 5, which asks, what's the odd one? So we have 4 drawings right here, and I'll tell you what the drawings are in case you don't know. So in A we have a carrot, B a strawberry, C a pear, and D a banana. So what is the odd one and out of these 4? Is the carrot, strawberry, pear, or the banana? A, B, C, or D? This could be a little bit more subjective, but there should be a more logical answer. Is the carrot, strawberry, pear, or the banana? Okay, let's take a look at the answer. And the answer is A, because the carrot is the only drawing out of this 4 that is not a fruit. Okay, really good. Let's move on to the next question, which follows the same pattern as the previous one. So we have again 4 figures, A, B, C, and D. So we have a square. I don't know the name of this in English, but we have this other figure. We have a rectangle and a triangle. And what is the odd one here? Again, this could also be perceived as a bit subjective, but there should be a more logical answer to this question. So out of these 4 figures, which one do you think does not belong? Is it A, B, C, or D? I'll give you some time to take a look. Which one do you think is the answer? Okay, should we check? Okay, so let's check the answer for number 6. So the figure that does not belong is D, the triangle, because it's the only one that does not have 4 sides. So all of the other ones have 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, except the triangle. Alright, let's move on to question number 7, which asks, what combination of letters spells a city? So similarly to question number 1, we have 4 options right here. And we have, okay, so here are our options, A, B, C, and D. And only one of them spells out the name of a city. So this is also kind of a geography question. So yeah, I'll give you some time to take a look at the letters in each option. So, and then you have to decide which of these options spells the name of a city. A, B, C, or D. You can take a look at all of the letters. What do you think is the answer to question number 7? Do you think it's A, B, C, or D? It's the name of a city. Should we take a look at the answer? Will you lock in your answer? Okay, let's check. So, the only option that spells out the name of the city is option C, which spells out Madrid, which is, in case you don't know, the capital of Spain, España. Okay, Madrid is the correct answer. Alright, moving on to question number 8, we have a sequence again. So we have the numbers 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, and you have to guess what number should come next following this sequence. We have 4 options again. Is it A, 29, B, 36, C, 34, or D, 40? Which do you think is the correct answer? A, B, C, or D? You can take a look at the sequence and you have to try to guess, predict what is the number that should come next. Again, there is a pattern to this sequence, so it helps a lot to try to guess or figure out the pattern first. We have 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, and then is it 29, 36, 34, or 40 that should come next? What do you think? A, B, C, or D? What do you think is the correct answer? Okay, so let's check the answer. And the answer is B36. So I'll explain the sequence to you now. So the sequence we have is n to the power of 2. So n here represents 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess the position, you could call it, of each number. So here n equals 1, here n equals 2, 3, and so on. So 1 to the power of 2 will equal 1. Then 2 to the power of 2 is 4. 3 to the power of 2 is 9. 4 to the power of 2 is 16. So then we have 5 to the power of 2. The number that should come next is 6 to the power of 2, which is 6 times 6, which is 36. Did you get this one right? Okay, let's move on to the next questions. So So we have another sequence, but this time we have a sequence of letters. So we start with the letter Z, then we move on to B, then we have Y, C, and you have to tell me now what letter should come next. So we have 4 options. Option A is letter E, option B is letter W, option C is letter D, and option D is letter X. So take a look at the sequence and tell me, what do you think is the letter that should come next? E, W, D, or X? We have Z, B, Y, and C. What is the letter that should come next? E, W, D, or X? Take a look at this sequence right here. I'm giving you some time to think. Take a look at the sequence and at the options and make a decision. E, W, D, or X? Okay, so I will reveal the answer. Do you have your answer locked in? Okay, I'm ripping the paper. Okay, so the answer is option D, the letter X. Okay, so I will explain the sequence to you. So, the first letter of the sequence is actually the last letter of the alphabet. Then we have the second letter of the alphabet. We have the second last letter of the alphabet, third letter of the alphabet, and the one that should come next is the third last letter of the alphabet, which is X. So that is why X is the answer to question number 9. Alright, moving on to question number 10. Another sequence. So what is the number that should come next in this sequence? So in this sequence we have the numbers 25, 49, and 97. And you have to guess what number should come next. We have 4 options. Do you think it's A, 148, B, 126, C, 186, or D, 193? So this time we don't have as many numbers shown in the sequence. So I'll give you some time to think about this one. So 25, 49, 97, and then question mark. What is the number that should fill out this question mark? A, B, C, or D? Take a look at the numbers and at the options. What do you think is the number that should come next? A, B, C, or D? What do you think is the answer to question number 10? Okay, I'll give you 10 more seconds and then we will reveal the answer. Okay, so the answer to this question, the number that should come next in the sequence is answer D, 197. No, this is wrong. Again, I don't know. So it's actually 193. But yeah, it's answer D, 193. So the way this sequence works is we'll multiply this number by 2 and then we remove 1 unit. Then we'll multiply this number by 2, remove 1 unit, and so on. So 25 multiplied by 2 should be 50, removed 1, and so on. So what we have to do here is we have to multiply 97 by 2, which is 194, and then we remove this is right. So we have to multiply 97 by 2, which is 194, and then we remove 1 unit from that answer, so we'll get 193. So did you get this one right? Let's move on to question 11. This one is a little bit different, so you just have to answer this question. So we know that Sydney is older than Rachel, okay? We know that Rachel and Bia are both older than Tinu, and we know that Alina is not the youngest, okay? So with all of this information, who is the youngest? We have 4 options. Is it A, Sydney? Is it B, Rachel? Okay, I've made so many mistakes. Anyway, so we have 3 options. Is it A, Sydney? Is it B or D, Rachel? Or is it C, Tinu? So we have 3 options, A, B, or C. So higher chance for you to get it right. I'm sorry about that. So what do you think is the correct answer? Who's youngest? Sydney, Tinu, or Rachel? Sydney's older than Rachel. Rachel and Bia are both older than Tinu. And Elena is not the youngest. Who is the youngest? Okay, so I'm going to review the answer. And the answer for question 11 is C. Tinu is the youngest. Okay, let's check the last 4 questions. Okay, let's go to question number 12. So we know that the sum of all the ages of a 4-member family is 85. So if you sum the ages of every single member of this family, which is 4 people, you'll get 85. So if you wait 5 years and you do this again with the same family, you sum the ages of every single person in the family, which number will you get? So we have 4 options again. A, 90, B, 95, C, 100, or D, 105. You sum the age of every person in this family and you get 85. 5 years later, you do the same with the same family, and what is the answer you should get? 90, 95, 100, or 105. A, B, C, or D. What do you think is the correct answer for question number 12? 90, 95, 100, or 105. give you some time to take a look at the question and at the options. 90, 95, 100, or 105. And I will reveal the answer. Are you ready? Okay, so the answer is D, 105. Okay, so I'll explain this to you. So, obviously, if 5 years go by, each person will get 5 years older. We have 4 members in this family, so in total, we have 4 people times the 5 years that each one of them will age. So in total, they will age 20 years. If we add the 20 years to the number that we previously counted, 85, we'll get 105. So if we do the same thing 5 years later, we should get 105. Alright, let's move on to question 13, which asks, what is half of a quarter of 8,000? Half of quarter of 8,000. Again, we have 4 possible answers. Is it A, 500, B, 1,000, C, 2,000, or D, 8,000? Again, I'll let you take a look at all of the possible answers. Half of quarter of 8,000. What do you think is the answer to question number 13? $500, 1,000, 2,000, or 8,000? Half of quarter. Okay, so let's check the correct answer. And the correct answer is B, 1,000. So if you divide 8,000 by 4, so getting a quarter of 8,000, we got 2,000. And then if we divide 2,000 in half, we get 1,000. So what is half of a quarter of 8,000? A quarter of 8,000 is 2,000, and half of a quarter is 1,000. Okay, really good. Let's move on to question number 14. And question 14 asks, what is the smallest number? We have 4 numbers over here, 4 fractions. I also wrote the fractions down in case you have, you cannot really tell. So, fraction number 1 is 1 over 3. Fraction number 2, or fraction number A is 1 over 3. Fraction B is 7 over 42. Fraction C is 8 over 90. And fraction D is 10 over 1,000. Which one of these numbers is the smallest? 1 over 3, 7 over 42, 8 over 90, or 10 over 1,000? A, B, C, or D? I'll give you some time to think as well. Which one do you think is the correct answer to number 14? Out of these 4 questions, the smallest number. A, B, C, or D? Okay, so I will be revealing the answer very soon. Just pick your answer. Are you locking in? Okay, let's check. The correct answer is D. And we have the values of each fraction right here. So fraction A corresponds approximately 0.3, fraction B 0.16, continuous, this parenthesis mean continuous, fraction C 0.08, and fraction D 0.01. So 10 over 1000 is the smallest value out of these four. And for our last question, we have kind of the opposite question. So again, 4 values, and you have to tell me which one is the largest value. So we have A, 7 to the power of 5, B, 5 to the power of 7, C, 15 to the power of 3, or D, 3 to the power of 15. So what do you think is the largest number out of these 4? A, B, C, or D? Okay, so let's check the answer. So the answer is D, and you can check these are the values for each one of these numbers. So D is very obviously the largest number. So this was everything for this IQ test. Please comment down below how many points you got, also your answers to all of the questions, and if you liked this video or not. Also comment down below some other video ideas of videos you'd like to see on the channel, and also quizzes. What other quizzes would you like to see around here? Thank you so much for watching. Bye!